Hi, my name's Rich. Welcome to Knife Maker's Corner, and today we're testing two more knives. We're going to put the RCK Classic Hunter up against the Ned Foss Hunter Survival Knife. So let's get started. So up first is the RCK Classic Hunter. We decided to use this knife because you'll notice it has this little tiny blemish right here. It's not anything that's going to make anything critical, but if we ground it down enough to take that out, we would get beyond our parameters that we set for thickness. So we went ahead, this would have headed for the scrap pile, but we decided let's make a test knife, and that's what we've done. So the Classic Hunter is a 4-inch clip point, 1/8 inch thick, full tang, 52-100 steel, which is ball bearing steel, 9 inches overall. It has a hardness, a Rockwell hardness of 62 to 64. Holds a great edge. It sharpens easy with a waterstone, Arkansas sandstone, or a steel. This one has a Brazilian cherry handle on it, but you can get them with, they can be ordered with all kinds of different wood handles, micarta, and even bone. These also come with a leather sheath. Price point on these knives is around $100. So you can see the fit and finish is very tight. It's got a nice rounded bottom, flatter, rounded on the edges, but flatter top for great indexing. Fits my great big fingers as well as regular people's hands. Even my wife with her very small hands loves the feel of this knife. The great thing about our knife designs is this: you can literally let go of that knife and it stays in your hand where it belongs. If you're stabbing something or cutting something, using this in a survival situation, you don't have to worry about your hand sliding up on that very sharp edge. Also has a spot for a lanyard cord. Let's look at our other knife. So this is the Ned Foss. I cannot remember what the name of it is. It's it just says survival knife. I know they have a set name for it. And I'm sorry, my neighbors over here decided to do yard work on this really nice spring day. I don't blame them. So we're going to unbox. Looks like a really nice knife. I love the sheath. I love the belt clip. We use these on our Kydex sheaths. Real easy to open them up. Has a little fire starter here. That's not bad. That's pretty cool for a survival knife. Got the little thumb push right here, which it needs it. That's pretty tight, nice tight fit. Let's take that off of there. Yeah, that's a nice tight fit. So that's really nice. Really good work on the sheath. So this is a 440 stainless steel with a micarta handle. The first thing I've noticed, just grabbing a hold of it to pull it out of that sheath, is this is very square, and it's just got hard corners here and here. Very hard corners. And I'm thinking, if you're out using this thing, which when Christian gets here today and he's doing the testing, we're gonna see if he has anything to say about it, but that just does not feel very comfortable. Could be just me, but it just doesn't feel very comfortable. This knife is quite a bit thicker than our knife that we're going to be testing it against. 1/8 inch versus, man, that's got to be at least 3/16, if not even a little heavier. Our blade is longer. Both of them are clip points. Our blade's a little bit deeper, but this one's definitely more stout. Should do well in our testing. Also has a lanyard cord hole for it. Pretty small handle. Not much guarding you from sliding up on that sharp edge. And that is why we've changed our design. Too many people getting hurt with their own knives. But this isn't a bad knife. It's 440 stainless steel. It is made in China. Ours is made in America, right here in Washington State. But it looks like a really nice knife. So I'm excited to see how it does in the testing today. And we're going to get that started here in just a little bit.
Alright, so we're going to be checking the sharpness of our blades before we do any testing, and then we'll be doing it afterwards to see how the edge is all holding up and everything. So we're going to pull this across the string and see how it slices through. Just one pull each knife. So we'll start with the Ned Foss here. So that sliced all the way through that. Alright, we got the RCK now. Yep, both of them sliced right through the first time. Alright, so for our first test, we're just going to take the knife and slide it through this hard branch of maple to see how kind of deep it slices in. I'm not trying to go all the way through, obviously, but just going to see what kind of damage it does. So we got the RCK first. It's not bad. It cut in there a bit. So Ned Foss is next. We'll see how this does. Alright, so here's the Ned Foss, how it cut in there. I'd say this one may have cut in, the RCK may have cut in a little more, but I'd say they look about even. Alright, so for our next test, we're going to be doing some chopping. So I'll be using a baton here, and I'll be smacking blade down in, just trying to see what it takes to get about halfway through this piece of wood. So we'll see. First is the RCK. About halfway through on that one. Let's see how the Ned Foss does. All right. Oh, that one's going right in. I'm going to say the Ned Foss did that a little easier to get about the same result. Ned Foss kind of took a little more out. Alright, so for our next test here, we're going to be batoning the knives straight down through this wood. This piece is going to be a little bit longer for the RCK. But, so yeah, we'll go ahead and start this. There. Give her a couple whacks and see what's going on. It's definitely starting to split down.
Let's bring it to the camera. So let's drive her on through. Plywood's not making it easy.
Using the plywood to not smack the concrete with the blade, so. Here we are. Right there, that's the RCK. Split through that. Onto the Ned Foss. Alright. Alright, that's the Ned Foss. I'll drive this one through now. Yeah. That thicker blade definitely helps with splitting. I have been noticing there's some rough edges on this that when you're squeezing it, really trying to use it, there's a lot of discomfort in my hand. These are pretty kind of sharp. This right here is getting my finger, but it definitely split through that real easy. So that's the chop test, split test. Alright, so for our next test, we're going to be doing a tip test. So I'll be batoning these in about the same amount each knife, and then we're going to try pulling with the grain on the top of this piece of wood, and then we'll go against the grain on the bottom. We'll just see how the tips hold up. So I'll start with the RCK here. Alright. Alright, RCK. And here's Ned Foss.
Whoa.
Hold that up.
Let's take a look at them tips.
So, not seeing any damage or nothing on the tips, or everything looks straight for the Ned Foss.
How about the RCK?
And RCK, looking good.
Much thinner tip.
Much thinner, yep. But not seeing any damage on either of them yet. We'll flip this over and try it again. RCK.
A little more. There you go. That. Oh yeah, nice big chunk.
Alright. Now the Ned Foss.
Nice big chunk.
Right, again, here's a Ned Foss. There might be a slight bend.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Do you see that?
It's off just a, yeah, it did bend just a tiny bit.
It did. Surprised with how thick the metal is.
Oh, let's look at the RCK, see how bad news that is.
Thinner blade here, let's check.
I don't see a bend.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any bending going on there.
Lift your arm up a little bit. There you go. Yeah.
But
oh man.
I'm gonna say this one held up perfect.
That's definitely got the bend in it.
We did get a slight bend here on the Ned Foss.
Hold on, their spine's bent too. You got a bend in the spine right here. Right there. Unless it's my eyes. Oh.
I think, yeah, the safety glasses are making it hard to see too.
It's the benders.
Yeah.
The bend starts way down here. Oh. Okay. Well, that's 440. 440 is not a real strong steel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah, that was the tip test. Alright, so now we're just gonna do this chop test on the string here to see how the edge on the blades held up. So yeah, I'll just go hit it with one chop and see if it goes all the way through or whatever it does. So we'll do the Ned Foss first here. So, yeah, all the way through with that one. RCK. All the way through with that one.
Halfway through the wood.
Yeah.
See the wood. So overall, what do you think of both knives? Let's start out with the RCK.
Immediately, the feel of the knife, it's more comfortable chopping or trying to hold it tight while I was batoning or anything. I mean, the feel overall, I'm going with the RCK. I just can't, there's some things about this I can't really get over, but the performance of the knife was pretty well. Surprised with the tip bending, with this being the thinner metal, but this, you said this was 440, so different kinds of metal do different things. I would go with the RCK. Probably I mean, comfort's a lot, but just seeing the tip bend like that, you're going to be using these knives a lot harder out if you're really trying to survive with them, so they got to hold up. So I'm going to go with the RCK.